Hey Wayne County, this is Leslie Crane with the Arts Council, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about hot glue and why I consider myself a hot glue artist. Whenever we go somewhere and people ask me my medium, I tell them it's hot glue, and people say they don't understand it. So one of the things that I'm going to do is teach you how to make something with hot glue. I'm going to make some aluminum tape art in a minute, but I'm going to start out with the hot glue template that I'm going to use to create this aluminum tape art. I'm really big on if I can't get to the store, if I can't get it anywhere else, I'll go to the Hobby Lobby or something like that. But if I can create something myself, then I'm going to try my darndest to do it. So we're going to be making an aluminum tape art book for one of my students, my senior that I adopted this year for high school. Since they're not going to get to do their graduation or their prom on time, they're doing some little cute baskets of stuff for our seniors. So one of the things I wanted to do was to create her something. So I'm going to make a little notebook like this one, and I'm going to create it out of hot glue and aluminum tape. So one of the things I don't have is I've gone to Walmart. We don't have any more of these little templates like this. They're all gone. Everything in the craft section of Walmart is gone, so because everybody's been home and we've been doing crafts and we've been building stuff and making stuff. So all the craft stuff is gone, and I don't have any of these little die cuts these are just wooden die cuts, and then I covered them over with hot glue. So I don't have any of these die cuts. Now I've done this project 3 times. I've done this one, which says thankful, and I used black paint with it. And then the other time I used no paint with it, and I used a die cut that I bought at Walmart for like 98 cents. And it was just a cross. And I just did the aluminum tape over the top, and then you smush it down. So I did that one. The third time I used aluminum tape art was when I made this little notebook. And this one was actually the one that I did in my last video that I lost. So it was a great video, and I lost it. It's gone. So we're going to be doing one for my student. But I don't have any die cuts because they're all out at Walmart. So what I did is I took a notebook that I'd never used, and I covered it over with strips of cardboard, and I just put some I put some glue and some napkin just to kind of make it stick together. So I've got this, and I wanted it to kind of look like I just wanted to give it some more texture on the back, not just plain. I wanted to have something behind it. So I think this was like a fence in a way, so that's kind of what I wanted. So I'm going to do that, and then I want to do, since it's a small notebook, I can't do a whole lot of stuff with it, but I wanted to do a letter for her name, which starts with a D. So I'm going to stick it here, and I'm going to show you how to create your own template first, and then I'll stop it and I'll do the next video, which will be how to put the tape on and make it look all cool. So this first video is only on how to make templates out of hot glue. Here, I don't have a pen, and I'm going to turn to my book where I have my letter drawn for her name, which is a really pretty D. So you'll notice I made it about the size of the book. I'm outside, so everything's moving around. So I made it about the size of wish I had some tape, that would be a great idea. But I made it about the size of the notebook, and I have just drawn a D, just like that. And I did swirls because if anybody's ever been in my classroom, if you've seen my art before, you know that I use tons of swirls. So that's just a thing in my art. I love the swirly artwork. Anything with swirls in it and textures, I'm all about swirls and textures. So I made the swirly D for her, and I'm going to do the D, and then I'm going to have some little things like vines that go around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this is just parchment paper, non-stick parchment paper. I'm going to put that over. I'm going to get my hot glue gun, which has been heating up for about 30 minutes or so while I drew the D. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to trace the D out. And with my hot glue. Now, in my family, if we can't make it out of hot glue, it probably doesn't need to be made at all. So we use hot glue a lot. So this is really hot, and one of the tips I have is, if you can find them, you can get, let me find them, some silicone finger protectors. You put them on your fingers, and if you happen to touch that hot glue, it will burn you. So you can get these finger protectors, and you can touch your hot glue. And another tip, this one's one for my thumb, so I'm just going to put it on my thumb. But another tip that I learned while we're doing cosplay, because we do cosplays, is I put ice in a bowl, and as I do hot glue, I can actually go in and dip my finger into the ice, and I'll actually put the ice on my finger before I start working with the hot glue. And then if it gets on my finger, it won't burn me as badly. But once it burns through, once it gets through the water and evaporates the water, then it'll burn your finger. So that's one of the tips that I have learned, is always have a bowl of ice around, and just have that just in case you need it. So I'm going to start out with this D. Ooh. Now I have these little spider webs, which you always get if you are using hot glue. Stand down. You always get these little spider webs everywhere. That's part of hot glue. Little spider webs. Probably shouldn't do this outside. Put you down here. Oh. Do it outside, because believe it or not, outside is the most calm place there is in my house right now. This is my office from my other job as well, because inside we have 2 children that are doing distance learning, and they like to listen to the radio, not the radio, the YouTube music, and it bothers me. So, alright, so I've got lots of spider webs, and that's fine. What we're going to do with those spider webs later is just heat them up, and you can use a hairdryer for that. Heat those spider webs up, and they will melt, and we ain't going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to make my template for my D. So, there we go. Alright. So once I got my D made, I'm going to fill it in, because I want it to stand out. That's one of the things I want to do with this tape, is I want it to stand out. I don't want it to be flat, because I want to cover it with the tape. So I'm going to go in and fill in my D. It doesn't look like much now, but it'll be fine, I promise. Or I hope it'll be fine. I've never tried this before with the tape. I have tried it with the hot glue. I've made all kind of things out of hot glue. So if I need some kind of something, I can usually make a mold out of hot glue and create it with hot glue. I create whole costumes up into probably right before the quarantine. I was learning how to sew, but up until that point, when we cosplayed, I made everything out of hot glue. If it needed to be sewn, I couldn't sew because I didn't know how to. So I hot glued things. Get them in my fingers, and I can touch it, and I can shape it a little with my finger as long as it's wet. Now it's getting a little hot. Okay. Push it back into place like I want it. So one thing about hot glue is the mini spider webs that you're going to get, the hot glue spider webs, and that's okay. Don't let that discourage you at all. Oh, don't try to pull them off either. That was dumb. But we can always go back in here with this very hot glue gun and melt them down and clean up this area, so you can go around and use your hot glue gun to just shape this area a little bit better and trim it up, and that's fine. Or you can use a hairdryer when you're done. You can hair dry it. So I want this swirl to stick out more. So these swirls need to stick out more than the rest of the D. You do have to let it dry completely. Got so many spider webs. Before you go on to the next layer. And what we're doing is we're just layering it little by little, just like if I was doing a 3D printer. I'm just layering this hot glue on top of itself, and I'm using it like a 3D printer. And I actually got that idea from one of my students. I was making masks for cosplay with clay, and the clay would, you spend 5 or 6 hours sculpting clay, and then I would make cosplay masks for my kids for their cosplays. And then you go to a Comic-Con, and she's 6 at the time when we started going to Comic-Con. She started cosplaying. She was 6, and she would drop her mask and break it because it was made out of clay. And I was a little disappointed in that fact. And one of my students said, "Why don't you just use hot glue?" I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Just use hot glue like a 3D printer." And I thought, that's an interesting idea. Let's wonder if I can do that. And I tried it, and it worked. So started making everything out of hot glue after that. So that's wanting to squish down. So I'm gonna let that dry. And I guess not dry, but gosh, I didn't dip my finger. Let it cool, I guess. I may not be able to get the level of detail I want. Jeez. I don't really need this. I just had it to show folks. So, they do help. They don't let you get burned. So, oh gosh. It's mighty. The hot glue. I really want this to stand out far. So. And one of the things I like to do is dot the hot glue like this. And that helps me, number one, see where I've been, so I can see the dots. And number two, it gives me this pretty texture that I love, which is, let's see which way this goes. It gives me this uneven, earthy looking texture, which I love. I love to have lots of different textures. So I dot it, and I just keep building it up. It's a slow process. It takes quite a while to build a mask or to make anything out of hot glue. But I have hot glue sticks at home in my house. And that did not work. So I have hot glue sticks in my house.
What are the plants?
So I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video. Go water the plants. Yeah. It's okay. Probably works better to have a low temp glue gun. This is not a low temp, this is a high temp. Probably be better if I had a low temp. you can see how it's being built up. Need to do this side. I'm getting the sides of my letters built up. And we're going to see how it looks. So my goal is to be able to go in and do some swirls on the inside of this D, but I just don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to. So I'm going to use my hot glue gun to smooth it. And that's how I make my D, just like that. You'll see what's on there. I make any shape I can dream of and I can draw. I'm also going to do some vines around like this, since I love swirls and vines and all that jazz. Everything nature. I'm going to make some vines with this D. I'm going to bring them down and around and up. And then I'm going to do something on top. I've got them sketched out here, so I've got to look through the paper and find it. I'm almost out of this hot glue stick. I usually buy a bunch of hot glue sticks because I use it for everything. And all it takes is patience. I'm just going to go around that and build it up a little bit more, make it a little fatter. Down here, do the same thing. Police car coming somewhere. Going very quickly. Yeah, dot it all the way around. I think it's very pretty. Don't know if I'll be able to do the designs on the inside, but if I don't, then I'm okay with that. They're going fast. Now, I've never done the aluminum tape art with the hot glue art. I always use hot glue on its own, so this will be an adventure to see if I can do hot glue and aluminum tape together and how it will turn out. I'm not really sure how it will turn out. Kind of want to get in here and do some swirls, but I don't know if I can. Maybe I'll just do some dots. It may not look, it's not really looking exactly like I want it, but that's okay. I'm going to take care of that. So I'm going to go back down here and work on my vine a little bit more since it's dried. You can tell it's dried because it gets really opaque. It's not clear anymore. So once it dries, it's probably okay to go back in and add another layer. You just keep layering on top of layering. And I think I've got friends that crochet and they do layer by layer and they build something. And I don't think I would like doing that, but I do like doing this, so I suppose it's about the same thing. And we've done some felting, and it's the same thing. You just keep punching away until you got the shape you want. So on this, you just do the shape you want. Alright, so I have, I'll let that dry a second. I have a heat gun. What I'm going to do with the heat gun is I'm going to use it to get rid of my spider webs. Okay. Fill it. And by the time it's probably about 3 layers thick, probably thick enough that I can pull it off. That one's stuck to that one. Let me pull them apart. So I can pull this D off without it being too much. Now I have painted them. Never used tape on them, so this is going to be new. No, it's stuck. Okay, so here's my D, and I'm going to see if I can get this to work. All I do is I go through and I clean it up a little bit. As you heat this with the heat gun, it will start turning clear again. So, I'll touch some. It'll start turning clear again. I get rid of my little spider webs, and there's this one place right here that I really kind of want to knock down. There's another one right there. Really hot, and I'm gonna tap it down. And I touched the water first, or it'll stick to your finger. And I'm gonna this little piece right here. Oops. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. I'll heat it, and I'm gonna tap it down with my moistened finger so that it's not sticking to my finger. But you can see how much clearer this is that I heated than this other part. So you can really see all the places, like there's a couple places where there's a hole in the middle. Go in there and fill that in a little bit. A hole in it. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this heated. Oops, maybe you out of the way. Heat all this. Anything I want to add, or if I don't like the way it looks, I can go back to the drawing board. Stick it back down to this paper, parchment paper, and I can go in here and do something to it if I don't like it. So, and build it up a little bit more, or fill it in somewhere, or if I don't want to, I go around that and make it a little bit smoother. I can do that too. There's more spider webs. And what I usually do when I make things out of this hot, no, it's stuck to my finger. What I usually do when I make things out of this hot glue is, usually I make them and then I just glue them down to something. I've never tried the aluminum tape over it, so that's going to be experience to see if it works well or not. So it's something new. But like if I didn't want to do aluminum tape, if I wanted to just say paint this D and put it, that might be pretty too, just to paint it and put it on there. That might be a lot better looking than the aluminum tape, actually. I hate to say it, but it might be. I don't know. We'll try it and see. If we don't like it, then we can always pull it off. So, here's my vine that I made. A little swirly. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to make some leaves. And the way you make leaves is you just pull to make a teardrop. And pull. And that leaf. And pull. Just like that. Make one curvy. And pull. Get rid of the spiders. Got a little place right there where it's kind of thin. All you have to do. So I've got my D here, and I'm going to take this. I put that on the bottom, my D there, and then this one, if it's dry enough to move. Nope, it's not. That one on the top, and then I'm going to pull these off when they're dry, and I'm going to put them on. So that's what I'm going to be working on for the next couple of minutes. Alright guys, so I finished this, and you can see that the D has turned out and the vine's at the bottom, and it is cute as can be right now. So if I didn't do aluminum tape on it, then I just could paint it straight up and send it on like this. This would be great. But I'm going to try the aluminum tape. If I don't like it, I'm going to take the aluminum tape off and I'm going to paint it and send it on like that. Alright, I'm going to show you how to do the next part. So, it'll be in my outside. You can do everything, or what I use is aluminum tape. Got it at Walmart for like $7 or $8 for a roll. And I learned last time that you take a couple pieces and you can do them in straight strips. I don't like to do that because they end up, myself, I don't put things on straight anyway, so this would be a great, I just put it on like this. So I just take little strips, peel the back off of them, and put them down in this cup. I learned last time to go ahead and get them cut out, and I just lay them haphazardly, I can't say that word well, haphazardly over my surface. And what I do is I take something that's, got a round edge on it, like a spoon or something like that, and I just go around it and I just squish it out just like this. I'm going to use this pencil eraser for now, but like inside my house I have a burnishing tool, or actually I think it's a burnishing tool. It's a print making tool. So I'm just going to go around it like that, and you can see how cool that already looks. So my idea is that it would look like burnished metal. Not burnished metal, metal filigree is what I'm hoping that it looks like, but I don't know if that's how it's going to look when I get finished, but that's my plan. So I'm just going to squish it down, and I don't really lay them straight. I lay them however I want, this direction and that direction, because I couldn't get them straight if I wanted to. The kind of person I am. Cannot get things to be straight and go use this. So I'm going to go outside with my burnishing tool, but I'm going to get this started first. So I'm just going to go around it. going to do it in different directions. And like, I'm going to do this in this direction like that. So I'm just going to go over it. Squish it down and it will stretch a little bit. That's probably not a great idea. My dogs like to bark. That's their job. They bark at people that walk down the street to protect me. So they keep on going. Ooh. The papers on the back's away. I'm just going to continue this, just going over it. Can't get it off. I'm going to try this D here. So there he is. I'm going to put it on the highest part first, and then I'm going to kind of bend it around and try to get it into some lower sections. Highest part, and then make sure it goes all the way down. So I may have to do more than one piece, and that bent a little and tore just a little bit. That's okay. I'm good with that. Get in here. Follow that around. Like that. If I can get it to go. If not, I'll just take my fingernail and I'll rip it and I'll push it up in there on each side, because I can take more than one piece and put over it. Ooh, I need a little bit more on that. That's a little high. So I'm just going to continue doing that until I get everything covered. Sometimes I have to pick it up and push it back down like I want it. And it's okay if it's wrinkly. That's what I do. That's part of it. So, I mean, I like all the blue textures and all the wrinkles and all this stuff. I like that part. If you don't like it, then you can probably straighten it out and get it pretty smooth. So, get it as smooth as I can. And then afterwards, I'm going to use some paint on it. I think. Use some paint with it to help get in here. Just going over and over that. Just like that until I get the whole D and all of it covered over, and I'll show you when I'm done. So here's the finished product. This is what it looks like. It's got the D on it. It's got some vines, and open it up. It's on the inside. Back inside is like that too, and then here on the back I did a little heart. So I'm not gonna lie, this was tough. It was really hard to get the tape down in all these little things, but I think it's gonna look really cool when we're finished. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take some paint, and I'm gonna do brown because the paper's brown. I'm gonna do some brown paint inside and all around, and a little bit of green over the vines, and that's gonna kind of give me some dry brush. Ooh, that's globby. Got out a little bit of dry brush around it, and that's gonna hopefully give me a little bit of definition. I'm gonna paint all this brown. Get it down into all the little grooves. Back in there, get all this in there. Get it down in there really good. These cracks and crevices. All the way around here. There are other places too. A little bit of a metallic green in this area. In this area. up here. Oh, I should have done some on the back, but I didn't do that. Get some green in here with the brown in this area. And some green in there. Like that. And then I'm going to wipe it off. And after I did all this, then I'm going to wipe the stuff on top away. I need more like a sponge for this. There we go. We got our notebook here with our D on it for her name. A really cool notebook from just a small notebook that we had around the house that nobody had used, and we've made something really cool out of aluminum tape. And I'm going to do the back side, the same thing, a little bit of brown, rub most of it off. Like that. It's outside, so it dries really quickly. So, wipe it off. That's gonna make it antique or rusty looking. I need to do this side here as well, because that's where the pin goes. So I'm gonna do that. A little bit more around that D on the sides, and we've got this really cool notebook that was kind of a plain notebook before. This was plain brown notebook, and now we've got this really cool notebook that's got her initial on it, and it'll be fun to write in. It's kind of heavy though, but that's how we do aluminum tape art. So hope you enjoyed it, hope you had fun, and we will talk to you next time. We're making a different notebook, different thing with hot glue in the notebook next time. So hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Bye.